Okay. So hello everybody. So I'm gonna do a presentation about my project that I do with students. It's about Beehive monitoring with LoRaWAN. So I'm working at Sorbonne University, one of the biggest French university in the middle of Paris. But in this university, there's an engineering school that is called Polytech Sorbonne. And it's part of big engineering schools in France. We have more than 50 engineering schools in a network. And they are all in universities. Sorry. So, at Polytech Sorbonne, I'm a university lecturer, and I'm working in the computer science and embedded systems department. And what I'm doing, I give a lot of course about chip design, VHDL, co-design, FPGA, embedded system, microcontrollers, real-time operating system, low-power design. And since 2050, I begin course about IoT, Wi-Fi, BLE, also all the stacks, HTTP REST, MQTT, and also LP1, first only Sigfox, and then more LoRaWAN. And I do a lot of projects with my students about embedded system, connected devices, and industrial projects. And today, I'm going to talk about this great project that I do with my students that you can see here, that we are learning, building, and growing together through this project. So I'm also a beekeeper, a hobbyist beekeeper. So in 2016, I buy my first beehive. I begin this hobby. And the problem when you are a beekeeper is that you always want to know how are the bees in the beehive. Because there are a lot of problems with bees today. And you always want to open the beehive. And that is not good for the bees, and also in the winter. So I begin in 2017 to make my personal project to monitor the beehive, to know if they are alive by temperature, the weight, to know if there are enough honey. And that was my first project and during the winter. Then I discover Paul Pinot-Contents is here. He helped me a lot, first through his blog. He has a very nice YouTube channel. I learned a lot about IoT, LP1. And also, I use a lot of his slide deck for my courses. And I learned a lot of things through all his content. Then we begin the first project with students. It was a little project, Ruche Connecté, so in French. And in this first project, we were using Sigfox. There was a great technology, very easy to use. And also Ubidets to make the dashboard. That was our first project, and we achieved it. And now, if everything is working well, I'm going to show you a video. Yes. So I'm sorry, it's in French. I have English undertitle, but I can't put it. So I will try to translate it at the same time. So here you can see my students at the, how do you say it?
Bonjour, donc je me présente, je m'appelle Yann,
So,
je suis professeur à
present
Sorbonne
myself.
et responsable de la spécialité électronique informatique pour les systèmes embarqués. Dans le cadre des projets avec nos étudiants, cette année on a mis en place un projet qui s'appelle OpenRush.
So the project about beehives is called OpenRush, and we will help some beekeepers to achieve all the problems around bees. And here we explain all the problems. The first problem, so that is a beekeeper. We work with him. And he has some problems from meteo perturbations, but the most problem is the varroa mite that come on the bees, and it affects the bee colonies a lot. You can see it here. Then there's the Asian hornet. I think everybody heard about it. It's a big problem at this time. And it stressed the colonies. And there are also a lot of beehives that are stolen.
puisqu'une ruche
So
comme celle-ci,
that's more and more
une
beehives
colonie
are
qui tourne
stolen
bien,
today.
c'est de l'ordre de 300
And one
350
beehive
euros.
is, yeah, it's a
Toutes
lot
ces
of money.
problématiques, on va chercher des solutions et
So
récupérer
we
des informations qui
try
nous
to
permettent de
find some
générer des alarmes
solution to generate alarms, to have dashboards, to follow the beehive. So, and here you have a student who explained about all the information, all the sensors that we put in the beehives. So we put a temperature sensor, weight sensor, also luminosity sensor, also temperature, humidity inside, outside the beehive. And we also analyze the sound through a microphone because there are correlation between the state of the beehives and the state of the bees, of the sound. Sorry. So we begin with prototyping on the breadboard with the students. That is the first version. They try all the sensors, all the system, and then they create their own PCB. It's easy to make PCB. But so they learn also to create a PCB. And then they also make the box. And they put all the sensors with wiring that go in the beehives and outside the beehive. And all this information, there are, at this time we use Sigfox technology, it was in 2020. And they made some dashboard, some on Ubuntu, some Grafana, they have the choice of the solution. And we send each 10 minutes some data through the LP1. And LP1 is very low energy, so it doesn't disturb the bees. And then the beehive can analyze the data. And then at the end of the project, we test the project on a real beehives with real bees during the winter at this time. And so we test during 3 or 4 weeks the prototype on the beehives, and that was very interesting because so they can see the student that some choice that they made on very good sensors that doesn't fit in the beehives. That is a good point of testing, real field testing. So. And at the ADN of the project is that it's a citizen science project because there were beekeepers, there were students, but also all the data they collect they will be used for research, for other specialties to make science analysis, data analysis. And this year we finished the project, and that was one of the first year I do the project in Big, so we make a video with the school to communicate about this. But each year now, we do the same project, but we add some new things that I will explain in the next slides. So, and also the thing is that through this project, they really learn to make a complete embedded systems with low energy, autonomous, with connectivity, also dashboard. So it's a complete project. They touch all the parts of the project. And then at the end, the beekeepers, they can have the prototype. So here you have the step that you see it's in the video. First prototype on the breadboard, then we create a PCB, then we create or we use a box. We do on-field test, and then after we have some feedback of the students, they can have a final presentation with the feedback of their project. So in 2020, first time I come to the Think conference, and it was very nice for me. I learned a lot of things. First, I discovered LoRaWAN for real. I discovered also the Things network. I heard about it, and also I discovered Beep. Beep is a European citizen science project, and they also made a lot of connected beehives, and they made a free open source platform for this project, research project. And after this, I used this platform for the data. It was a platform dedicated for beekeeping, and it's for free, very exactly supposed for my project. So I used this platform. Also, I need to learn very deeply the LoRaWAN, so I learn with Sylvain, who is also in the room, with all his materials. So first, he has some free ebooks. He has also an e-learning platform on Udemy. And if you want a free voucher, you can ask him, send in a mail, he gives you. And then I do this training. It was a very good training. I learned really in precision how works LoRaWAN, because what I see at the beginning is that LoRaWAN is more complicated than Sigfox, as the last panelist said it also. And if you want to become an expert, you have specialized free ebooks and also another course on the e-learning platform. And then in 2022, also I discovered here Edge and Pulse. And since this time, we are focused more on TinyML or Edge AI. So we do it with a microphone, with an Arduino board to detect if the beehive is in normal state, queenless, no bee. There's a Varamite, Asian hornet. That is our work today. We work a lot about these projects. And also in 2023, because the project became bigger and the university liked it, so we acquired 10 beehives on a site of Sorbonne University near Versailles. It's just near the castle of Versailles. And since this time, we work on our beehives. And in 2024, I begin also to work on image detection, so with a little ESP32 cam. Also with TinyML, we use a lot of Edge and Pulse because it's very easy to do some projects to detect the number of Asian hornets, also the state of the landing board. We try to count how many bees gonna in and out, and also the rubbing of honey from the bees. And since we do hundreds of wonderful projects with students, we have a lot of fun. We go on the beehives a lot of times, and so we make a lot of projects, and all the projects are on Hackster. You can see it. There are more than 50. I think I didn't count it, but since the time we do this project, you have a lot of results of the project of our students, if you want to have to see it. And here, yeah, the different modules that we use during the projects. I don't know if I'm on time, huh? It's okay. So, but I finished. So if you have a question, perhaps we can ask later. Also, I bring some honey, though someone who want to taste it. I propose to do it around the water corner there. And if you have questions, we can talk more there. Okay? Thank you.